So, to assess two separate things here, this is what everyone's saying. Defensive blinks are strong. Defensive blinks are saving people, for being used for escape 95% of the time, and people keep using the terminology get out of jail free card. So their perception is blink is being used 95% of the time defensively. Blink is on a 4-minute cooldown. So Weekend said here, you're using it 5 to 6 times per match. 6 times per match, and people are saying 95% of the time it's being used defensively, which means you probably are escaping 5 times. If you had Beads or Aegis, how many times would that Beads or Aegis have saved you? Maybe not every time, because Blink is such a strong defensive relic. Okay? It is. It's a strong defensive relic if you're using it that way. Beads or Aegis probably still saves you 3 times. Right? Let's say 3. However, you have your Beads or Aegis up upwards of 10 to 12 times during that game instead of 5 or 6. So realistically, all we're talking about, if you're in a game and we're taking your guys' words for it, if you're using it for an escape 95% of the time, first of all, if you're using it for an escape 95% of the time, you're probably a low-level player. That no disrespect intended, but if you are only using it as an escape 95% of the time, that means you have bad positioning. And if you have bad positioning, you're not going to get better positioning that moment that you don't have blink. And if you are on a 4-minute cooldown and you aren't getting killed off cooldown by the jungler, then you're just playing in low-level lobbies. And that's it. So what we're saying here is what you guys are realistically pushing for is that the extra 1 and or 2 times on that 4 and 5 number that Beads and Aegis wouldn't have saved you, but Blink would. That is important enough of an interaction, even though you will have Blink and Aegis up 10 to 12 times, that can possibly save you more throughout the game. Right? It can possibly save you more. That 1 to 2 kills that you dropped because of the defensive blink, which in my opinion, in most high-level players' opinions, should be punished. If I get a Zeus's blink out and I'm Soul, and I have a jungler, and I call that his blinks down, he should be dying off cooldown unless he's sitting in his tower the next 3 or 4 minutes. So realistically, we're just talking about if these players are using this 90% of the time defensively, and Beads and Aegis, in my opinion, probably still would have saved you 3 or maybe 4 of those times. We're literally talking about maybe 1 interaction in an entire game where they got away because of Blink instead of Beads and Aegis, and that's not even adding in the fact that you have another Beads and Aegis 5 and 6 more times than you even had Blink up. So what we're doing is we're removing the fun aspect, we're removing the blink chalk alts, we're removing the blink mid animations, we're moving the fun aspect of the game to give, in my opinion, low-level players an opportunity for a single other kill. Now, if they want to bring in blink as like a normal blink to where you can do it even while you've done damage, and you can blink mid animation even if you've done damage, but they want to remove the ability to blink if you've taken damage, cool, I'm fine. But taking blink out of the game completely is a major L. It's just catering to a lower level player that don't truly know how the game works.